Well, this might be a bit tough, as you guys know, being Ash and Derek. Unfortunately, last night Nintendo's president, Satoru Iwata, passed away, and it came as a huge surprise. We did post a quick update video last night, or a quick news piece, and I put together a little tribute, what little I can do. And, people wanted us to discuss this news, and we would have done this sooner normally, but we wanted to put some distance at least between the event and now. And it's not a ton of time, but, maybe this can help us and everyone cope with this. But, I thought it'd be good for us to get our thoughts out there, so we can discuss, what exactly Iwata meant to us, which I know is going to be weird for some people to hear. But Iwata felt like so much more than just a company figurehead, a company president or CEO. He almost, he felt like one of us. He started off as a gamer. He became a developer for Nintendo before moving up to being the company's president and CEO. And he's been with basically all of us, or, by us, I mean us three here, for about half our lives, which is pretty intense, at least in the public role. And in that time, he's managed to do so much for Nintendo and even ourselves. So I don't know where I'm going with this. One of you want to take it?
I guess when I first heard it, it was just is where I guess I'll start with is about his passing. Is I don't know. I was doing something, and for some reason I was like, oh, I'll check Twitter real quick, and that's when I first saw the first person say, I forget who it was, but first person say that Iwata has passed away. And I'm like, what? No, this is obviously anytime I hear a death of that type, I immediately think this is a hoax because there's been so many celebrity hoax deaths and stuff like that. And I immediately started doing research, and it just popped up in more and more places. And then I saw the official letter from Nintendo that simply stated that he had passed away due to his bile duct growth and his dealings with that. And it shocked me right away. I mean, I got a hold of you guys immediately and was like, did you guys hear this? Did you guys know this? And, we all just sort of reacted the same way where we just couldn't believe it. And, it's been rough. It's been, you're kind of shocked by this whole thing because he was so young. It's not like he stepped down first and he's been out of the public eye. I know he was been in the public eye for quite a long time, and I think the best thing to me that's come out of this is just seeing everybody's reactions and seeing all the not in that way, but I mean in the way that people are celebrating his life. All the tributes, all of the artwork people has put out, all the even Miiverse posts and stuff like that. Just every aspect that you can think of, people have been posting tributes to this man, and really getting the chance to learn more about his life and what he believed in just makes you feel that the whole thing is that much more tragic. And I don't know, that's where I'm coming from with this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm profoundly sad. I just, when I found out, I was in San Diego for Comic-Con with, Udon, the company I'm an editor for, and we were tearing down our booth. And, I found out while we were tearing down our booth, and I had to excuse myself. I kept going for a little bit, and I just realized, oh my God, this is really happening. And I had to excuse myself because I just cried. And it sounds so trite because I've never met him. He's not family, it's not like I have any personal connection to him, but I almost feel like I do, because he was the face of Nintendo for 13, 15 years, something like that. And, he was almost in all of our living rooms as almost another family member, because he was the face of Nintendo Directs. He was always so casual. He was so casual and fun-loving, and he just always seemed to really just want to have a good time, and he wanted everybody else to have a good time. And it kind of feels like I lost like a distant uncle who would, even if I'd never met him, he would send me like a card or some money every birthday without fail, just to let him know he was thinking of me. And it's just weird. He was like this constant, comfortable presence in my life, and it's just weird that he's gone.
It is weird. Like, I mean, I think my reaction to you, Derek, when you posted in our group chat that he had passed, I think my initial reaction was WTF. Like, I just couldn't believe it, which isn't the most profound of reactions, but I just like was in a state of disbelief. And I think that even continued up until it wasn't until I was actually working on the tribute video that it actually fully hit me, I think. And I actually had tears working on that multiple times throughout. I mean, that's just when it fully hit me. It's like, dang, this person who's been a part of Nintendo for basically half of my life, almost. I mean, in almost his current role, or at least a visible role. It's weird. I think you said it, Ash, when it seems like he just wanted us to have a good time. Because Nintendo has that special bond, I feel like. They're not, they are just a company, but on the other hand, it seems like they're more than that, because they do try to, for us, we grew up in Nintendo, and their goal has always been, besides making money, of course, is to put a smile on your face, right? And it seems like that is a genuine concern of theirs, for lack of a better word. It seems like that's something they genuinely want to do, is make sure their fans have a good time. And it's something that I appreciated from Iwata even from day one. I could be mistaken on this, but I believe that one of his first public appearances was at E3 2001, which is what I was at, and I just rewatched it before this, and he was talking about the Nintendo difference and what all that entails, and how it basically boils down to having a good time. And that's what he's done all this time, is ensured, or tried to ensure, that every product they release lives up to that. And that just forms so many memories. And I just think for people like us, Nintendo represents more than just a company. They represent the times we had that brought us so much joy and fun, and good times with friends even, right? How many times have we bonded around a game?
Yeah. Smash Brothers. And he was a huge part of the Smash 64, the original.
Everybody's favorite, pretty much everybody's favorite Pokemon game. I read about how the people at Game Freak were still kind of new at the whole programming thing, so they couldn't fit all of Kanto into the game. They only had Johto, and Iwata by himself was able to compress all their files enough so they could actually squeeze Kanto in as well, and that is by far one of the most memorable parts of that game, and something everybody likes, and it makes it one of their favorites. And to have somebody of that kind of genius, even before he's just doing all this stuff behind the scenes, that really speaks to it. As many people have pointed out, he literally worked from the bottom of that company up, as just a simple programmer, and ended up becoming president. And I think that shows that Nintendo difference, because how many of the heads of companies out there right now started out as programmers and people that worked on the games? There's a few, of course, but a lot of them are just people in suits.
I think that's part of what the Nintendo difference is. Iwata he grew up with the company. He was, as he said himself, he's a president, or he started off as a game developer to become the president of Nintendo, but at his heart, he's a gamer. And that I felt like that came through in everything he did, and that is what made Nintendo so unique. Partially, is he understood basically every element of that company. He wasn't someone brought in from the outside to run it. He was, he was raised with Nintendo and brought in from the inside to run it.
Yeah, no, it's one of his more well-known quotes that's floating around right now is that video games are meant to be just one thing: fun for everyone, and that really is Nintendo's MO, and it's what he. It's what he expressed every day. Every day that we saw him, he wanted everyone to have a good time. And, there were some who scoffed at the idea of the Wii or making games a little too easy or accessible, but that's what he stood for. And he just wanted people to have a good time. And I can't think of a better legacy.
I do think, upon reflection, a lot of people are going to look a little bit slightly more fondly on their E3 showing this year.
Yeah, well, and that's the part that really got me. I was talking about this yesterday, and I tweeted it out, and it really is hard to think about the fact that his last public message to us was one of, not regret, but essentially apologizing to people who were disappointed by Nintendo's E3 digital event. And promising to meet our expectations in the future. And you know that by that point, he had to have known. And it's just, I mean, to the very end, he was working with Nintendo's best interests in mind, and he was engaging with the fans. And I mean, this was only a month before he passed, and you know, just to the end, he was all about Nintendo and people having a good time.
Well, he's the one that's been pushing for all these new avenues Nintendo has been taking, the mobile games, the theme park, the just all these, this branching out that Nintendo has been doing, and I don't know, he was sort of dragging Nintendo into the modern age, it almost feels like, and really showing them what they could do with their brand. Because I think he started to recognize it and see how the conservative way they were doing things wasn't always for the best. And now that they were branching out, there was that opportunity. And he was one that, like, it's not like he didn't care about the company at all either, because, I mean, he famously took that pay cut when Nintendo wasn't doing well. Rather than lay off any employee, he just cut his pay in half.
Yeah.
He believed in Nintendo that much, you know?
I know we were just doing our jobs and we were, commenting from a neutral perspective. We love Nintendo, but looking back, it just now seems so petty to have ever complained about the digital event. Obviously, in the moment we did what we had to do, and, they had an off year, and that's fine. But it's just, in hindsight, when something like this happens, it's just, I really wish his last message hadn't been one of, not regret, but just, I wish it had been positive. I just wish we'd complained less, even though I know we were just doing our job, and it wasn't mean spirited. And of course, there were definitely some mean spirited complaints out there. We weren't part of that, thankfully. But it's just hard. I mean, even now, like I'm choking. I'm getting choked up, and it's the strangest thing to think he's gone. I mean, part of what I looked forward to about Nintendo Directs was not just new news. It was seeing him. It was just seeing what new goofy thing he would do.
With his banana bunch?
Yeah. I mean, it seems really, really incredibly fitting that a man like Iwata, his last public appearance was as a Muppet. I mean, that's perfect.
It is oddly fitting.
It really is, and it's really sweet in a way. It's so sad, and I'm crying. It's really hard.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's weird. Like, I mean, obviously this day had to come at some point. I don't think anyone expected this soon. And he hung in there until the end. Like, he barely took any time off except when he had to. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't think I've gone through anything like this in my time in the game industry, like anything close to this. Yeah,
No.
and the only thing, yeah, like I don't even know what to say. Like, it just sucks to think that this, there may be more of this there will be more of this, down the line. So,
Well, it's funny. Like, back when Robin Williams passed, I was, of course, really sad, and I mean, I loved a lot of his movies, but I didn't quite get why so many people were so profoundly emotional, and I didn't like begrudge them. I didn't make fun of them. I just didn't get it. And I was like, oh wow. I mean, it's sad, but it's not affecting me on that level. I get it now. Like, I really get it. I've been so sad since this happened.
yeah, that's someone else who brought joy to lots of people, through humor in his case.
Yeah.
There's something about making a person laugh that just or have a good time that just makes them stick with you that much more. And I think we can definitely all agree that was the case with Iwata, and that's the case for a lot of Nintendo, really. That's the thing. I think they're not doing anything with their Twitter feed, or any of their social media right now. They're a day of respect. They have all their flags at only halfway up.
Half-mast, yeah.
Yeah, half-mast, and they're just showing complete respect to him, and all of the words coming out from many of the people that worked with Iwata are simply wonderful. They're great things, and I really think Nintendo's going to hold true to his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, if you want to look, well, not the bright side. I mean, I guess one positive thing to come out. I don't know how to put this.
Know what you mean? Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess it's good that that it seems like Iwata in his in the past year, it really has seemed like is putting Nintendo on a path for the future. And hopefully that is executed up to what his expectations. But it looks like he put Nintendo on the right path, and I think Nintendo has a bright future in front of it, and that's thanks to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's just such a huge part of my childhood in terms of the games I played growing up, and also the games I still play now. It's not an exaggeration to say that if it wasn't for Nintendo, I don't know how much of a gamer I'd actually be now. The older
would any of us be doing this as jobs?
That's true. That's true. Not only is that true, it's just Nintendo still, they never lost that whimsy, that sense of whimsy, and that sense that video games are just supposed to be fun. And I play my some M-rated or serious or dark games, but at the end of the day, 99% of the time, I just want to sit down with something colorful and whimsical and fun, and Nintendo did that, or still does that, and a big part of that is because their CEO was such a fun-loving, casual, just nice guy. And, it got to the point where my fiance and I would watch Nintendo Directs together because she liked him. She's like, she hasn't played games like I do. She plays some, but she's like, oh yeah, let's watch it because he's so cute. He's so awkward, but he's so genuine. And I love watching Iwata do his thing, and she really does. I mean, and she and I met over Earthbound, which is a game that, Iwata had such a huge part in. And, so he touched my life in an even more important way in that sense. And it's just, the impact he had on my life and the lives of so many gamers is immeasurable. And you can see that in the tributes that are popping up all around the internet. There's so much love. There's such an outpouring of love from gamers all around the internet and industry people. I mean, it was great to see Phil Spencer and Shuhei Yoshida, the bosses of Xbox and PlayStation, respectively. They were paying their respects, of course, and it really does make you see that at the end of the day, it's not about console wars or Wii versus Xbox versus PlayStation. It's just, we're all trying to have a good time. We're all gamers, and everyone recognizes what a monumental influence, positive influence he has been on gaming for the past 20, 25 years. And it's just, I'm really, really, really going to miss him. It's really going to miss him.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird. It's not gonna be the same moving forward. I'm sure it'll be fine, but it won't be the same.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last night, but I already am not ready for the next Nintendo Direct because you just know there's going to be some sort of memorial section, and that's just going to be rough to watch. Or whatever whatever little announcement they end up making, but there's going to be some sort of little in memoriam, and that's going to be really hard.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. All right, well, I think we're done here, right? Anything else, guys, at all, or
no? I just appreciate the community that I appreciate that the community has come out like it did and really shown just overwhelming support for him and been truly kind about the whole thing. And it's it's good to see the nice side.
Yeah, it's good to see that level of unity and support for once in the game industry, right?
It really is, and I just hope that, of course, this doesn't affect anyone more than it does Iwata's immediate family and friends, and I just hope that his family, whatever they're going through right now, however they're grieving, I hope they see how many lives he touched.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically immeasurable. It is a gigantic amount of people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we better wrap it up here before it gets even sadder.
Right. Yeah. Seriously.
All right, guys. Of course, as always, thanks for watching, and have a good one.
See you next time.
Bye.